In Stray, you play as a cat who has fallen inside the mysterious and forgotten city. Separated from his family and injured, he will have to explore and survive in this unwelcoming environment. From the cat's unique point of view, players must navigate their way through the dangers of this unfriendly place, and use the cat's skills to solve puzzles and uncover mysteries along the way. Along his journey, the cat will meet a small drone named B12. Using the drone's ability to interact with objects in the world and communicate with the strange inhabitants of this secluded place, together they will work to learn more about the secrets of this forgotten community of human-like machines. Of course, a cat will always be a cat, and his adventures will be filled with friendly and playful interactions with his new world.
Ля как спарринг.
Ну, чё там?
Готово.
Ну и пошли они нахрен.
Спасибо тебе. Ты многим сталкерам жизнь спас.
Ну, давай, малюй картину маслом. Вот поэтому я ни в какие разборки и не лезу. Не хочу пулю поймать.
Ну не знаю. Между аномалией и маслиной я уже лучше пулю выберу.
Вот ты говоришь, а я прям вижу красоту эту. Не первый год в зоне, вроде примелькалась уже, а каждый день удивляет.
Зона надоесть не может. Говорят, ты знаешь, где вход в фундамент.
Узнаешь мотив? Слышь?
Every path eventually leads to a cold and perpetual solitude. Eventually, even that is exhausted. Only the abyss remains. The binding thread of all matter. Entropy. And though my body has felt the melancholy undulation of human misery, it is cold already. A form, long eroded. As is time, yet in the mimicry of my body, inside the lifeless crevices of my synthetic cortex, a raging crucible engulfed by the cold.
We shared land and history. But their lies intoxicated you. You burned our homes and slaughtered our families. No longer am I frozen in terror, grief, and rage. Now all I feel is the ecstasy of revenge. Grief and rage. The ecstasy of revenge. Terror, all I feel.
What do you think you're doing here, humans?
Welcome to Hogwarts Legacy. You're a new student at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry with a unique ability to manipulate powerful ancient magic hidden in the wizarding world. You'll need to uncover what's behind the return of this forgotten magic and who is seeking to harness it to destroy wizard kind, as you may be the one that decides the fate of the entire wizarding world. But before you can study magic and begin to solve these mysteries, you must create the witch or wizard you want to be. When you arrive at Hogwarts, you will be sorted into one of the 4 Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. After you settle into your dormitory, you will meet up with your housemates in the common room. You will then need to attend classes, and you do have some catching up to do, as you are starting Hogwarts late as a 5th year.
Эти модели пылесосов вышли из-под контроля и могут нанести вред вашему здоровью.
Зачем тут пылесосы?
Ну, пыль. Обратите внимание на экспонат с внутренностями кита. Тут представлены не только органы дыхания с пищеварением, но и...
Так, раз. Хорош. Кто в банках?
Детектирую органические объекты, состоящие из смеси желе и различных животных организмов.
Понял. На закуску оставили.
Надеюсь, вы не будете пробовать их на вкус.
Но выглядит не очень аппетитно. Эй, Храпс! Тут одна закуска выбралась из банки.
You're an abomination, a filth.
Why are you back, Isaac? I'm looking for someone.
You're too late. They're all gone.
You won't make it.
Whatever's causing this is localized at the top.
We're going to look at a short clip from one of Gotham Knight's villain crimes in a pre-alpha build. This mission is halfway through the Mr. Freeze storyline, and we're playing Batgirl a dozen or so hours into her character progression.
All units at Elliott Center. Air support inbound. Hostiles opening fire on upper floors. Air support, can you do a fly around?
Freeze has recently returned to Gotham with a mysterious agenda that involves manipulating the weather to flash freeze the city.
We need a way to get through that ice.
An important goal for Gotham Knights was that players can play all of the game either solo or in two-player co-op.
If he wants a fight, he'll get it.
Robin's learned how to access the Justice League satellite for short-range teleportation.
How is the stop ice gun?
Meanwhile, Batgirl has mastered some more familiar techniques. And developed a few new ones of her own.
Montoya here. Heard you're down there having some fun.
Fun's one word for it.
Just a heads up, the chopper's under orders to fire on anything that moves inside.
The Gotham City Police. Drop your weapons, or we will open fire. Returning fire!
The storm is getting worse. You need to hurry and find a way inside Elliott Center.
The GCPD chopper made that part easy. This doesn't look up to code. If anyone asks, I meant to do that.
I won't say a word.
Tours were still going on when Freeze came through.
Those poor people. They didn't stand a chance.
Gotham Knights is built to let players approach each challenge with their preferred style and their preferred build.
You know how cold it is up there, right? You want to dive exposure?
Is that a motherfucking dragon? Is it gone?
Yes, and we should leave this place as well.
With that thing out there?
Going from an improvements perspective, just talk a little bit about, you know, where you're kind of seeing this move. We see Isaac kind of in the space right now, floating around the space, probably going to show off some of his thrusters and stuff in a minute. I'd love to hear more about, you know, kind of where you're thinking about in terms of improvements in this layer too.
So for us, really, going back to the original Dead Space, it was something that we felt, so again, super early build, that we felt we could actually improve in terms of experience and immersion. It's the zero-G and how you would move around in zero-G. And that's something that was really good and improving the experience in Dead Space 2 and 3 that we felt was really missing in the original Dead Space. And so that's why we took that mechanic of flying around when you're in zero-G and with much more 360-degree freedom. And now you can play Dead Space and really feel you're in space during those moments. And so also that's a mechanic that we're starting to improve a bit on. Like, for example, now you can interact as you fly around. You can go into tighter corridors, those kind of things. But also, it allows us to revisit some of the old content and create new ways to navigate, new paths. Like here in the original, you would have gone back through that door, through where you came from. And here, it allows us to create new environments with eventually new challenges to surprise also the people that know the game and will be like, oh, wait, what's that? What's this? And now we're going to surprise you.
So it's really delivering on the fantasy of being in space, making sure that we're able to use that and revisiting all the places in the game. In the original, where there was zero-G, which was the Superman jump back in Dead Space 1, and now applying full 360 motion and finding ways to...
The lightings, the VFX, the fog, but also nail that ambience. Give you the feeling that you're in the Ishimura, you're inside those dark corridors. And not only it's in engine, it's actually in game. And here's my boy Isaac. So that rig, that armor, it's not the original, it's a new one, it's still work in progress, it's gonna be improved a lot, but it gives a first taste at Isaac Clarke in the remake. And look, here we are.
Wow.
I mean, the lighting, everything looks phenomenal. The smoke.
It looks so good.
Very much what we should be expecting at this point from next generation graphics.
It's really Dead Space, but like you never saw it, I think.
Mm-hmm. So it has been almost 13 years, you know, since the original game came out, the original Dead Space. Why is this remake happening now, and what exactly is this remake? Can you elaborate on that?
So one thing that's important for us, and that's why it's for PS5, Xbox Series, or for PC, is that there is not, it's not about one thing. Like Dead Space is a super strong experience, and so it's
implemented into combat. Would you mind telling us more about the original system versus the new system and what peeling actually means?
I wish I hadn't come here for this. I found them. After all this death, if you had the chance to do it all again,
Constellation Starship Frontier, we have you on scanners. Performing remote systems check. Helium-3 tanks check. Seals are intact. We are still go.
they say, the wonder is, not that the field of stars is so vast, but that we have measured it. You're part of Constellation now. Part of our family. What you've found, it's the key to unlocking everything.
We reach your constellation.
This is all we've been working towards.
Jemison route looks good.
We've come to the beginning of humanity's final journey.
Prepare for departure. Graviton loop array spool check. Your space lane is clear.
That's why we're here.
Main engines go. Ignition.
To discover what's out there.
We have always known war. It forged our empire. Turned heroes into queens and kings. And decimated our foes. Now our oaths are lost, forsaken. And you must face the monsters our sins have borne.
We begin by hearing an old, wise-sounding voice. And we see a quiet, peaceful setting. This will make our game seem big and important. Now, something must break the serenity. Will this creature be in the game? No. Say goodbye to it forever. Suddenly, and for no reason, people running. These pointless slow-motion shots make everything seem cool and should bolster pre-sale numbers. That wah sound can mean only one thing. We must gaze over an epic shot of a world, and there should be lens flares. Now we see our hero, but only their silhouette, because the developers haven't finished the design, or finished the story, or finished any gameplay that's actually ready to show. In fact, the only thing they have finished is the title.